Christmas is gonna look quite a bit different this year, but it was actually my kids' idea.
I'm Rian, Christ-following wife and stay-at-home mom to 4 sweet boys. I'm growing and learning how to glorify Christ as a wife, mom, homemaker, and teacher, so come and grow and learn with me. I am Mama on Mission.
So the holidays are here, like it or not, and just like every year, I have very mixed feelings this year. I'm excited because I do love all holiday things, but then you start talking finances and you start talking about busyness and getting here and getting there and not making the in-laws upset, not making your own parents upset, all the different things. And it's just kind of like, oof, here we go. Now, all that to say, I think we actually are going to kind of narrow Christmas down a little this year. We're going to reel it in, and this was actually my kids doing. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute on how that came to be. But just so you know, this is a collaboration hosted by my friend Wendy over at Plan Prep Pray. And she is all things homeschooling, housekeeping, planning and prepping and praying. And so she even throws in some biblical womanhood stuff in there sometimes. And she is just a sweet, sweet friend of ours. So be sure to check out her channel and be sure to check out the playlist below to see what a bunch of other moms are getting their kiddos for Christmas. So this year, as I started thinking about this, I just started kind of drawing a blank. My 2 older boys are to that age where little toys and stuff just really don't appeal to them anymore. They still both really like things like Legos and things like that. So I could always buy something that they would appreciate. But I was just like, there's really nothing that they're like, oh my gosh, gonna just love without spending like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And we're just not about that. That's not how we do Christmas around here. We have always done something you want, something you need, something you wear, and something you read. I heard about that years ago, and we've always followed that. And it's always been kind of a way for us to keep the gifts purposeful. So it's not that, you know, I'm anti-gifts or I just hate all the commercialism of Christmas. I do hate a lot of it. But I want to be able to give gifts joyfully, and I want my kids to be able to receive them joyfully, but I want them to have a purpose. And so that's why we've always followed that model, and we're still following that this year. But the big thing is my 2 oldest boys came to me and said, Mom, what if for our combined Christmas gift, we asked for a treehouse? And at first I was like, what? Because I was thinking they would just like wake up Christmas morning and there was a magic treehouse just, you know, up in there and ready to go. And I was like, and they're like, no, like what if we went with Daddy and just built a tree house this year before next summer? And like it was ours and we, you know, did all the work for it. And I was like, let me talk to your dad. And so I talked to my husband and he was like, yeah, like this is the house that we can do that in. Our last house had no mature trees. We have mature trees in this house. Their plan is to, you know, every few weeks or maybe every month go and get some more supplies. So lumber and nails and all the different things they're going to need because construction materials are sky high right now. So we can't buy them all at once, but between now and when it starts to warm up again, hopefully they will have purchased everything they need for it. Of course, we're paying for it, but they will go and help pick stuff out. They will work on the blueprints with my husband this winter while it's still cold and they can't really build anything. And then once it starts warming up, they will all work together and build it together. So I think that is gonna be super fun, letting them get to actually be the ones who build it, but also to plan it and to see, you know, how do you buy materials and how do you price compare and all those different things. Of course, as a homeschool mom, I'm thinking of like, how can this be a learning experience? But I think it's gonna be a really good bonding experience too. So how we're going to go about that is going to be their thing they want, because obviously they did want it. They came straight to me and asked if they could do that. But I feel kind of sad not having them open anything. So I think what we're going to do is my husband is going to check and see if there are any tools that it would be nice to have more than one of. My husband has, you know, a lot of tools. If my husband's like, hey, it might be helpful to have another drill or something like that, then he is going to go and try to find, you know, kind of an inexpensive one for the boys to have to kind of learn on and they can use while they're helping build. Or any tools like that. Don't ask me what those are because I'm not a builder, but we will either wrap up something like that. If we can't find any tools that they might need, then we thought about getting them something cool for the treehouse to open on Christmas Day, just to get them excited again. And so we're looking at one of these like telescope type things, and then maybe like a pulley system or something like that, something that they can open and just be really excited about for Christmas, even though they can't use it right away. So that is gonna be the big want for my 2 big boys. Now, of course, my younger boys will use it, especially the 5-year-old, but that's not really what he asked for. And so I did get him a little something more, which we'll talk about later. So let's go by age. First, I have my 12-year-old. And so his main gift is the treehouse, but I also found him at a garage sale, which I checked it out and it has all the pieces and still works fine. I don't even know if it's been used before, but this ping pong set. So it's like light ping pong. So it like bounces off the wall. I'm not really sure how it works, but he loves stuff like this. And so I think this would be really fun. They also, this past fall, got a arcade game at a garage sale that isn't working, and they're working on getting it back and running with their dad. So I think this kind of like falls into that. And I got them all something that kind of belongs in that category. So I can have kind of like a game room downstairs. But this was very, very inexpensive at the garage sale. And then something fun I'm doing this year, because they aren't gonna have a lot to open, is I am getting each of them their favorite snack that I don't usually let them have at home. And so I'm just gonna give them a big bag of whatever junk food they want. And now obviously I don't want them to eat it all at once, but that will be kind of their thing that they get to, you know, snack on for the next week or two after Christmas, just because it's something special for them. And so this son in particular loves him some Doritos. So just the basic nacho Doritos is what he wants. So that's his want gift. As far as his need gift, he and his 10-year-old brother are getting shelving to put up in their room to display their Lego creations. They're both really into Legos, and they kind of just set stuff on their dressers and in their windowsill, and it just like is a big cluttered mess, and then the babies touch it and they get angry and all the things. So we're gonna hang some shelves, like obviously bigger than those, but we're gonna hang some shelves up in their room so that they can put their finished creations up there. And then as far as wear for this child, he really needs some more like button-up shirts. He only has maybe one or two that still fit. And so I'm gonna get him a couple more of those probably. And we usually just get those, we used to get them at Target, but we don't shop at Target anymore. So I will either thrift those, because we do a lot of thrift shopping still. And if I can't find them there, then I might look at like Old Navy. And then for his reading gift, he has requested, let me get this right, the Pokemon Super Extra Deluxe Essentials Handbook. Now I know this much about Pokemon. I can name a few of them, but that's about it. But this is apparently all the stats and all the things of a bunch of Pokemon. And he has asked for this for several months now. So we're gonna get him that. Now for my 10-year-old, obviously the treehouse is his big want gift, but I also found him, since his brother got the ping pong thing, I also found him one of those chain reaction Lego kits. And so it's just kind of a book with a few Lego pieces, but instructions on how to make like a Rube Goldberg machine. And all of my kids love stuff like that. Well, the older three, they are always doing trick shots and always doing chain reaction type things, but I thought it would be cool to bring the Legos into that. And then for his big junky snack that he never gets and really wants, I'm gonna get him some cheese balls. He asks for these every time we go in the store, and I'm just like, no, that's just fat and salt in a ball. Like, no, we're not getting that. But we're gonna get him for Christmas. And then his need is also the shelves in their room. They share a room, so they're both gonna get those. So for his wear gift, he is really into hats. So I wanna get him just a nice hat that can be worn just kind of with anything. He has obviously several Chiefs hats and several, you know, he has a How Ridiculous hat and some fishing hats and things like that. But I figured he would appreciate having one that just kind of goes with everything that's a little bit nicer. And then for his read, he saw at Costco and asked for the Guinness Book of World Records for 2024. I think he has another one from a different year, but they're really into those and to the Ripley's Believe It or Not books, which I also had that one at Costco. So I've gone back and forth between the two, but I'll probably go with the Guinness Book of World Records. I think he and his older brother will both definitely enjoy that. So if you see, there's kind of a theme of I'm getting this for this kid, but they're both gonna like it. And that's not because like, I don't think that anyone should have anything that is strictly theirs. Like, we're not that kind of house. You know, there's some things that are just strictly some people's, and there's a lot of things that everyone shares. But the thing is, my two older boys especially, and even my third, they just all kind of like the same things. They're really into the same video games. They're into the same books. They're into the same, you know, YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I mean, it just kind of naturally follows when you have a bunch of children, especially of the same gender, that they're all going to start liking the same thing. So for my 5-year-old, I found this at the same garage sale. It is a Ninja Turtle pinball machine. Now, it is not like super fancy high quality. It's definitely 5-year-old quality, but I think he will love it. And it will kind of go with like their game room downstairs that they're wanting to do. But I'm also getting him a punching bag this year. He specifically asked for one. He said, for my birthday or Christmas, can I please have a punching bag? which he is really into. I'm considering putting him in martial arts because he's really into that kind of stuff. I don't want to say like beating people up, but he's like very physically fit for his age. He loves just like randomly doing push-ups and climbing on things and punching things and kicking things. And so I figure maybe this would be kind of a positive way to get that energy out instead of hitting anyone else. And so we could set that up in the garage maybe and get some gloves to go with it. And I think he'll really love that. Now, as far as his need, the only thing I could think of that he really needs is he's really into dress up still. And so we have tons of superhero costumes and like firefighters and construction worker and all these different costumes that he likes to put on randomly. And so I'm gonna get him some cool looking hooks for his room to hang these on because they just kind of get thrown in his closet. And so I think if he has a place to hang them up, that he will, you know, be able to clean them up quickly by himself, since that's not like a really big deal. Something else I've been wanting to get him that's kind of a need is IXL, which is a learning program that he can use on the iPad because his kindergarten doesn't take a really long time. And I've been wanting something for him to do while I am working with his older brothers and his little brother's down for a nap. You know, he does play with Legos and draws and different things, but I think that having something that's really like concentrated learning based will keep him busier and be more beneficial to him. So around Black Friday, I'm hoping they will run a deal where I can get like a year subscription, or at least like maybe a few months subscription to that for him. And then his wear, again, like the brother above him, he doesn't need much to wear. He has a lot of clothes that have been passed down from both of his older brothers, but he started playing sports this year. He started playing football, and with that crazy long hair that he has, he wears headbands, obviously not like this one, but he'll wear them, you know, lower on his head, like the Patrick Mahomes style headbands, but he only has black. And so I thought I would get him some Chiefs ones or some cool colors or designs so that as he goes into basketball season, he will have those to wear for his games. And then for his reading gift, I got him 1001 Fun Things to Find. He loves doing these like kind of Where's Waldo type books. The Where's Waldo are still a little bit hard for him and he gets a little frustrated, but books like these he loves to look at right before bed when he's having a hard time like winding down. It kind of helps him to like focus on something until he gets sleepy. And so those are his gifts. Now for my just turned 2-year-old, his want, he still doesn't specifically ask for anything, but he is, as you will see, really, really into Mickey Mouse. Like, it's a thing. That is his stuffy that he takes everywhere. It's his Mickey Mouse. He actually has 2 of them, so it gets a little frustrating sometimes trying to figure out where both stuffed animals are. We just have to kind of go off of his likes at the time. And so one thing he loves is to get outside, and we're an outside family. But when it comes to walking around in our neighborhood, we have big hills, and I've just been pushing around this little umbrella stroller for a really long time. And I have been seeing these for years. None of my kids have ever had one. These 4-in-1 or 3-in-1. Some of them say 5-in-1, I don't know the difference. Tricycles. And so I'm gonna get him one of those because he can start, you know, now he has no idea how to pedal anything, but he can start now. It has a 5-point harness and I can push him around the neighborhood. And then as he gets older, it converts into a tricycle. But I think that would be really fun because he loves nothing more than to go on walks. Now, if I can, I want to find that used just because they are pretty pricey. They're like $80. And I just don't see the sense in buying it new when I've seen them, you know, on Facebook Marketplace and different places used. I see nothing wrong with getting that used. Some people frown on getting used gifts for Christmas. I got some hate for that last year, but I'm like, hey, saves me money. My kids don't care. Some of them don't even know. And it's good for the environment, right? And then for his need, he doesn't really need anything, but this is my first child that loves to draw. And I mean, since he was about 1.5 years, he just like loves, and by draw, it scribbles, but he's very like into it. So he'll sit there for like 30 minutes, which for a just turned 2-year-old is a really long time. And he wants to like fill in the whole page. So he'll scribble here and then scribble there and then scribble there and does like these little scribbles until the whole page is full. And so for the car, which he hates, I am starting to collect some of those Wonder Wow books. And so I got him just some blank pages and some markers for his birthday, but I want to get him the Mickey Mouse set for Christmas so that we can have those in the car and in the diaper bag. So when we're somewhere that he needs to stay quiet, he has those. They don't make a mess. Works for me. And then for his wear, you wouldn't think that he needs anything to wear with 3 older brothers, but somehow all of our 2T jammies that were winter, because it is getting real cold here now, either disappeared, or we didn't have that many, or they got, you know, holes in them and maybe I threw them away. I don't remember, but he only has like a couple pair of like the fleece warm footy jammies. And so I'm gonna get him a few more pair of those.
So I forgot to mention my 2-year-old's book, and he's getting this I Spy construction vehicles book because he loves him some trucks and tractors.
So that is it by and large, but I will say we are going to get one more gift that is just a collection of a few books that I wanted to get them, and I'm just going to put them as kind of a group gift. And that is the newest Wild Robot book. We have the first two, and so I want to get that just for our collection. We really enjoyed reading through those. I want to get Sir Bat-a-Lot. This is by Rachel Jankovic, and I love that book. It is so sweet and has a really good lesson to it, and I think it will be one that we treasure for several years, so I want to get that for everybody. And then we are on the search, we have not bought it yet because we don't know which one we want, for a new family devotional. So if you have any recommendations for that, please let me know. But we do plan to put that in their group gift, which is just those books. And then I haven't done this in several years, but I think we actually are going to do a Christmas Eve box this year, you know, where you put, everyone gets a new pair of jammies, and then you put some sort of treat or maybe a movie that you don't own, which I own all the Christmas movies that I really care to. I think I own a lot of Christmas movies. So I think I will probably just get everybody a pair of jammies and maybe some like gourmet popcorn or some kind of fancy snack that we can just stay home and enjoy that Christmas Eve. The only reason I'm actually doing it this year and haven't in previous years is that everyone in my family needs pajamas right now. So this year I'm really looking forward to just having more experiences together. That's kind of going to be our goal next year, to learn more together, to grow closer together. And I think the treehouse and the things that we picked out that are more for the family and not just for each individual person, I think that's really going to help us with that goal. So let me know down below, what is your plan for gifts for this Christmas season? And be sure to check out the playlist down below. I thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.